All right, so while we have a 30-minute gap between both of these matinee game on Saturday, it's perfect time for me to do the preview of tomorrow's game, where we will have three games that's going to be happening tomorrow to wrap up week number 6 of the MLS season. There's going to be two of them that's going to be on national television, with the DC United versus Philly match is going to be on regional network. And also, there's no timestamp for this preview because at maximum, I think this preview will be about 14-minute long, and it shouldn't be a long enough preview where I really need to, of course, give you guys timestamp. Or if you really want to know how long I would, of course, talk about this game, well, just think that for all these games, I would talk at the maximum around 4 minutes before, of course, I move on into the next one. But let us actually get into the first game, which is between the Seattle Sounders versus Atlanta United, as this game is going to start at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 p.m. Pacific. But the actual kickoff time, or at least I hope this is the actual kickoff time, is 1:55 p.m. local time. And again, like I said yesterday, the reason why I say this is going to be I hope the actual kickoff time is that since this game is on the Big Fox, and last time when Fox or FS1 actually cover a match with the Seattle Sounders, which was on Sunday against LAFC, I missed the first 15 minutes of that match, mainly because the MLS website, or maybe even Fox, kind of lied to me by saying that the actual kickoff time of that game was starting at 6:55 p.m. when it was actually 6:38 p.m. local time. So this time I'm obviously going to, unfortunately, have to kind of check to see if this how long before this game, of course, kick off around 1:30 p.m. Obviously, they will show like a countdown to kick off, and I'll see whether or not if that countdown to kick off is actually 25 minutes or actually at 8 minutes, and hopefully, I don't have to deal with that dilemma that I did last week. And again, it's such a unfortunate situation where this year with the league introducing the actual kickoff time, you would think that you can basically trust on those actual kickoff times, especially these national televised game, and you can basically use that so you can basically skip through the pregame show. Well, apparently that's not the case after the debacle that we had last week in terms of these national televised game being kicked off on the wrong time that it was supposed to set in terms of the advertised start time. But anyway, going back to this game, this of course is a game that I would like to say that this is the obnoxious derby, because depending on who you ask, these are two fan base that you could say are the most obnoxious in MLS, and also depending on who you ask, this could also be the two most hated fan base in the league. And I can't wait to see on the match thread on Reddit how both of these fan base are going to be behaving in the match thread. Something tells me there's going to be a lot of toxicity that's going to happen in the match thread on Reddit, and if you of course cannot deal with all the toxicity that is going on, I do not recommend you to check out the match thread on the MLS Reddit for this match, because again, something tells me it's going to be very toxic with the way how this game is going to turn out. But the Sounders, they had the best record in MLS right now with a 4-1-0 record, while for Atlanta United, they of course won 1-0 against Montreal at home. And actually, I'm actually incorrect in terms of Seattle's record. It's actually not 4-1-0, it's 5-1-0 that they have in terms of their record, because I forgot that they play 6 games so far this season, but still they have the best record right now in MLS. And in terms of the top assist leader for both of these teams, for the Sounders, you got João Paulo with 3 assists, followed by Will Broom. I think this is Christian Roldan, the one that has 2 assists, and not actually his brother that has the 2 assists. Actually, I can kind of double check here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna assume it's gonna be Christian Roldan, the one that has 2 assists for the Sounders. Followed by Jimmy Madrona and Freddie Montero with 1 assist. For Atlanta, there's only 2 players that currently have assists for their team, and that's Jake Morini with 2 assists and Emerson Hyman with 1 assist. So yeah, again, this is always a very interesting game, and a game that again, depending on who you ask, you really don't want one of these teams, of course, get the win, because you're going to hear a lot of obnoxious things from their fan base talk about they got a big win over the other team, and that you hope that this of course does end in a draw. But something tells me I think the Sounders are going to be favorites in this one, because for Atlanta, yes, they did get that 1-0 win against Montreal, but that was a very ugly nothing win, and you just sense that this team under Gabriel Heinze, they still have not completely gelled, and that now they're about to face against a Seattle team that looks like an absolute juggernaut with the way the first 6 games has already the play out. But moving on, in terms of the next match, is DC United versus the Philadelphia Union. So this is, as I mentioned, the only game that's not going to be on national television, which I'm assuming the actual kickoff time of this game is correct. Although, the start time and the actual kickoff time is actually the same, which I think, this is only the second time I've ever seen that actually happen. But the start time is 7:15 p.m. Eastern, 4:15 p.m. Pacific time, but the actual kickoff time, as I said, is also the same at 7:15 p.m. local time. DC United, of course, lost 1-0 against Orlando City at home, and now their record is at 2-0-4, while for the Union, they won 1-0 to the Red Bulls at home to improve their record to 2-2-2. So both of these teams had 1-0 result last week, but pretty much reverse fortune with the way that DC lost 1-0 at home, and Philly, of course, won 1-0 at home, and also getting their first victory at home this season. Top assist leader for both of these teams, you got Yamil Assad, Moses Nyman, Adrian Perez, Moreno, and also Gresso, all with 1 assist for DC United. For Philly, you got Montero leading the team with 2 assists. Then you have 4 players tied with 1 assist. That's Leon Falk, Fontana, Shabilko, and Wagner with 1 assist to their name. Now, I also have a feeling this could be a low-scoring game because both of these teams doesn't really score a lot of goals this season. In fact, you look at the two team in terms of their goal scoring, I think both teams have only scored 4 or 5 goals so far this season, which is just tied with the fewest right now in the Eastern Conference. So something tells me that this is probably going to be like a 1-0 kind of result again. But then that being said, watch how this is going to be like an absolute barn burner, and especially with the way that I think the Union does have a very good record against DC United, especially I've seen before where when both of these teams meet each other, not only the fact that the Union is going to win, but they're probably going to win very big in this one. But as I said, since both of these teams hasn't really got going in terms of the attack this season, something that tells me we might not see that kind of game where it's going to be kind of a high score action, but you never know. This is MLS. You can never trust the stats as the way that how the outcome of the game, and that, like I said, watch how this game is going to end up in a high scoring game. Once I said that this looked like it's going to be a low scoring affair. But now moving on into the last game of week number 6, which is the one that I'm actually the most anticipated to watch. I mean, I know the next game between the Portland Timbers versus the Galaxy is probably one that a lot of people are keeping an eye on. But this one, I'm actually keeping an eye on, and I think it's probably the game of the week. And that, of course, is Nashville SC versus Austin FC. And the reason why that is the case is because anytime when you have an expansion side against a team that is not really an expansion side anymore. I mean, Nashville, of course, had their expansion year last season, but in some way, this is their second year in the league, and when you have ever had a matchup between an expansion side against a team that is also very young and only in their second year, it's kind of like an expansion derby in some way, and that, I'm definitely excited to see who, of course, will get the victory in this one. Now, this game will start at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time, but the actual kickoff, or at least I hope this is correct, is 8:25 p.m. local time, which is the latest kickoff I think we have seen so far for this season, and this game is going to be on FS1. Nashville, of course, they are the draw king of MLS, as they currently leads the league with 4 draws so far this season, including in the last game where they added to their tally as the most draws so far that they had this season, with a 0-0 draw against RSL on the road. While for Austin FC, they unfortunately lost to the other LA team, and also lost by the same score of 2-0, this time to the LA Galaxy away. Top assist leader for both of these teams. For Nashville, you got Randall Leal leads the team with 2 assists, followed by Annabelle Godoy, Lovett, and Zimmerman with 1 assist. For Austin FC, you got Jared Stroud leads the team with 2 assists. Then you have 4 guys that currently have 1 assist, and that's John Gallagher, Danny Houston, Komanich, and Redis with 1 assist to their name. But again, I'm very interested to see how this game is going to turn out. And again, this might be also another match where I don't expect there's going to be a lot of scoring, because both of these attack isn't really the most lethal attack in the league. But it's always in interest to see two teams that are only, with one of them only in their first year at the league, and one team in only their second year in the league facing off against each other. And I expect this should be still a very entertaining matchup, even though I know for sure that we're probably not going to see as much goals as you would see some of those kind of marquee kind of matchup. And again, I'm kind of also surprised the media hasn't really hyped up this game more. I guess maybe because both of these teams are kind of play in small market. You know, that maybe is understandable why this game is not really kind of hyped up as much as the one that, as I mentioned, we're about to see, with the Portland Timbers taking on the Galaxy in about 5, or, well, actually not 5 minutes, but about 15 minutes at the time of this recording. But yeah, either way, there you have it. That is pretty much it for the preview of the Sunday game. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of all 3 of these games? And as always, let me know in the comments below your prediction for all 3 of these games that's going to be happening tomorrow. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I, of course, will see you guys next time.